Everyone, how's it going? Pixel saying, welcome to my update review for Texas Chain Saw Massacre. Now, for those of you who are around the channel a lot, I hadn't streamed this game in 3 weeks, and I kind of went into the update with an open mind. I was just trying to be a bit more positive about it, and it just, kind of absorb what they did add to the game. Unfortunately, it kind of felt underwhelming, if I'm being totally honest. This is their first big update since the game come out, and it just, just didn't hit the mark that I really thought it could have, and I think it could have improved the game massively. But I've written some things down, some good, some bad. We're just going to go through all that. I don't want to be seen as just a man being negative for the views and stuff. The thing is with this game is I genuinely liked it. I still do sort of like it. The problem is just when you get max level, you've spent so much time playing the game, you do get burnt out. And it's not really the case here why I'm being negative of being burnt out from the game, because I would still play it if I did see all the right things happening. However, with a lot of stuff that's happened in this update, I just feel like the game didn't really improve massively. And it's just not been that huge shift that I've been looking for within the game. And it's the same with the community as well. The community's all a bit up and down about the update as well. There's a bunch of shit happening with it, and it just kind of puts it in a negative light, honestly. And I really wish it didn't, because like I said, I got addicted to this game, and I started to enjoy the franchise from watching the movies as well for the very first time when the game come out. So I was trying my best to enjoy the game, trying to invest myself into the game as well, and the whole franchise, and just seeing what the game could be like, and just seeing it in a whole other light from the movies, and how well the devs crafted the feel from the movies with the family house and stuff like that. So I give them props for that. They did capture the moment with that, but it doesn't necessarily lead to the game being great and replayable for a lot of people. And so let's talk about the things that I've written down here. So we're going to talk about the content first. So the content, $10 a character, the whole controversial topic. Is it too expensive? Is it worth the money? In my personal opinion, I think it's way too expensive, $10 a character. Not even being able to bundle them together as well. Like someone like me who plays both sides, wants to play both characters. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there in the Texas Chain Saw Massacre community who likes to play both sides. We didn't even get the bundle option. We requested it from the devs. Hey, maybe can you make a little cheaper bundle so we can buy both characters for like, $12, $13 or whatever. Maybe it's $15. I don't know. Just something a little bit cheaper rather than dropping $20 on the characters. So I wasn't actually going to buy the characters. Someone was very nice enough to send me a super chat to buy the characters on the update day. So otherwise I wouldn't have bought them, if I'm being honest. And the problem with the characters being like behind this $10 price tag is that they're kind of broken. At level 3, I've seen some videos, Danny constantly leaving an exit gate open, being able to, gather knowledge relatively fast. Nancy with her clear vision can literally see exactly where the victim is, like without having it all blurred and everything, so you can figure out where they are. So there's a lot of problems with that. And the exclusive perks, I think the exclusive perks absolutely suck. Like, I mean, they're good perks, don't get me wrong, but it sucks that they're exclusive, because Danny has some really good perks that I would like to use on other characters. However, it's like they didn't want to test the balancing of like, oh, would fast hands be too broken on Connie? Because it would, really. But having fast hands on someone like Sonny or Julie or someone like that, getting these new perks in the game, you'd like to mess around with some builds for the current victims, I feel like that's what it should be. I mean, exclusive perks on Nancy make more sense because, her traps work differently. A hitchhiker, and, a lot of her perks are based around that. But on the victim side of things, it's just kind of weird. But this is where I go at the price point here. So $10 for the character, exclusive perks for Danny, and you get a lot of skins for him. Now, on the family side of things, you get Black Nancy. Yeah, she's got a whole new ability. She doesn't have any other cosmetics, and she gets some exclusive perks. So it's, kind of apples and oranges here. They're completely different in terms of what content you're getting for the same price, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, $10 for the characters, and they're a bit, I would say they're quite strong. I haven't really got them at level 3 myself yet. I think I've got them both around level 2. And I just feel like there just wasn't a lot of balance thought going into making these characters. I feel like balancing's a very key thing that you should be looking at, but yeah, I don't think they really thought about it too much. And with them having exclusive perks, especially Danny, they definitely didn't want to take into balance and like to put the perks on the other characters or the other victims that's already in the game. Because I really would have liked to seen that. I really would have liked to make some new Leland builds with some, you know, like Danny's got a perk. I'm not sure what it's called, but you know where you drop below like 5% health and you gain extra toughness and you know, like perks like that. I think it'd be really fun to try out and test in some different builds. But this is what's the problem with the game. It's very limited to the point where you can't really shift builds around too much because of just the pace of the game and how you try and play the game. And you know, once you get a feel for the game, you kind of have your optimal strategy every time you play the game, right? So then you design your builds to play around that. It's usually like something like choose flight. You'll have grappler on Leland, for example, or what doesn't kill you. You know, it's just perks like that. That's kind of how most people design their builds now, you know, rushing around, doing stuff fast, trying to get out the game fast. And yeah, that's on the victim side. Family, it's a little bit different, obviously. But yeah, I think it's a ripoff for the $10 for the characters. Honestly, I don't think that's I think they should have looked at that. And you know, the weird thing is, okay, I understand you want to make money in your game. I understand that. And when they did this update, they actually already released. They accidentally leaked the Danny cosmetic. So when the Leatherface cutscene at the start of the game, if nobody selects Danny, you can actually see his new cosmetic that whenever we're going to be getting, I don't know. But the fact is that's already made. We're all aware that's already made. Why is it not in the game? And it's something that they're probably going to charge us later on down the line for like $5, which, okay, that's fine. But personally, I feel like they should be looking at skins and stuff like that to monetize their game, and having the characters earnable within the game with some earnable currency. I think that's where the next step is for this game to go, honestly. Because if you're going to keep charging $10 for a character, and their excuse was all about, you know, motion capture, voice acting. The voice acting part I can understand, but the motion capture stuff, maybe it's for Nancy, but if you look at Danny, he's using Leland's animations for everything. So I really don't know what's going on there. It's just not. I don't think you can justify the price per character there. I don't think you can do that. To me, it just felt like they threw it up there and just see how much money they could make from that. I think if they were less, I think they would have sold a lot more of the characters. I think that, and they would have made more money in the long term. But yeah. Hopefully in the future they make it so we can earn them in the game with some currency, because in the next big update, whenever that is, I know they had 6 to 9 months worth of content planned. That's probably like another 3 DLC drops, I would say, 2 or 3. So I can't see me dropping, you know, the $20 every single time. I really can't. I don't think a lot of you guys should do that. I mean, fair enough if you want to support the game, but you gotta get your money's worth at the end of the day, and I don't think it's worth it. And like I said, they should be looking at alternate routes to getting the profit back, or you know, seeing a return on the hard work that's put into making the characters by other methods. That being, you know, buying skins and, you know, executions and all that stuff. And there's been a bunch of other stuff leaked. I'm not going to talk about it. There's like some execution packs and, you know, things like that. But I know we're focusing on this update, so that's it for the characters. I'm not happy about them being $10. I'm kind of not happy about them sort of feeling a bit overpowered. I wouldn't say they're really strong at all. I think there's just a little bit tuning that needs looked at. Obviously, you get more eyes on the game. They can bring the balancing down a little bit for the characters, and you know, bring them more in line with the other ones. But I don't know. I think the exclusive perk thing is what kind of fucked me off the most with Danny, at least. Like I said, with Nancy, I can kind of understand that. But with Nancy, I was very disappointed buying the character, and she didn't have an alternate outfit. I really was. It just felt like you were buying, like, it just felt so flat when you bought Nancy. And I looked in the cosmetic tab, and I was like, oh, she's got one cosmetic. Well, that fucking sucks. You think for that price you would have got at least an alternate outfit or something? I don't know. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the map. So the map, in my opinion, it looks fantastic, by the way. I like the design of that. We don't have a nighttime version, which kind of sucks. I wish we had a nighttime version. Maybe we'll see that later on down the line, but I think in terms of the layout and design, it is very, very poor. Like, the design of the map is very bad. It can feel like a labyrinth when you're first getting into the map, and then you just look around, it just looks, you know, so big, and there's so many different routes you can go with that, with this map. I still haven't learned all the ins and outs of the map, you know, the fuse spawns, the valve spawns. Now, the problem with the map is, now there's a method to where you can speedrun out of the game. And yes, you could say this is not the family counter in the speedrun method, but me and Con, who I play with all the time, we get out of this map in 73 seconds, which we did yesterday on stream. Now, that wasn't perfect RNG. If you did get the good RNG, we could have got out a lot sooner. Maybe it's even closer to 60 seconds because of the victim cooldown that's at the start of the game now. So this is the problem with this map. And, you know, once you... It's kind of weirdly laid out. Even if you, like, break into the house, into Nancy's house, there's not really much you can do in there. Most of the objectives are still, like, outside, the valves outside, the fuse boxes outside or inside, like, the garage, the basement area. So it's kind of iffy, this map. And I just... Like I said, I like the design of it, like the look of it, but I feel like not a lot of thought process went into the layout. Again, just kind of leading to this unbalanced feel. And in my opinion, I think it's very victim-sided. You know, coming from someone who plays mostly victim, I play a little bit of family, and yeah, I just feel like it is massively victim-sided. And there's a lot of areas that you can abuse playing as a victim on this map as well, where you could literally just give the family a headache for so damn long. So yeah, the map definitely needs some look at that. I think most of the maps still need looked at. Slaughterhouse has been brought back to being sort of like more of a playable map for the family, at least, and it's just a more fun experience playing on Slaughterhouse now. But I think Gas Station is still a horrible mess, like mainly for the family side. And you know, it's another video, another discussion about that and my reasons behind that. But yeah, I mean, the new map, like I said, it just felt like a very poor thought process went into that about balance, and it really did. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Like I said, they leaked the Danny cosmetic in the game as well. That was another thing that I wanted to talk about with the content wise. So very disappointed with the content, not going to lie. I think overall, I would have liked to seen a little bit more cosmetic wise, at least. You know, it's a brand new update. You're getting some new characters in the game. Let's get some, you know, cosmetics in the game, generate some more revenue and profit for the game as well, which is not a bad thing, because then it leads to getting some more workforce on the game and, you know, improving the game overall. So the content I'm not too happy about. But it is what it is, I guess. And I think it was just crucial. It's a crucial moment for the game. You know, there's a lot of people talking about the decline of the game dying and stuff. It was kind of that big moment to shine. Be like, wow, look at how detailed and how well crafted these characters are, and how well crafted the map is. You know, this is amazing, but it's not. There's loads of people second guessing the characters, second guessing the map, and I don't think that's what you want put into your game at all. Especially at the time that it was in, you know, like I said, potentially declining, you know, this close to the game launch, and it's incredible. But let's move on to the balancing side of things. There's a few things that I did write down here. So I think the 60-second cooldown of victim is kind of pointless. Not gonna lie, like I suggested earlier, me and Con were still able to escape 73 seconds in the game with Connie and Leland, and I don't see it shifting the gameplay too much. I don't really see the point in it. Like I said, the only one that would get benefit from having their perks really available, or their abilities really available at the start of the game, was like Anna, Leland, and Connie. But you're in the basement. I mean, now you don't even need a Leatherface in the basement. So when you're playing against a Leatherface, it's just like, whatever. Just wait around in the basement until your ability comes in. It just didn't really... I mean, I guess that, you know, that gives you time to set up, like, the family members to set up inside the house or whatever. But I think in the overall grand scheme of things, I don't think the 60-second cooldown really made much of a difference, and it just felt like a pointless nerf. I really don't know. They accidentally nerfed Leatherface with a bug as well, so his level 2 stolen ability, I believe, is bugged, whereas, you know, when you do the overhead rev and you do a big swing, basically, you're not supposed to... You know, your meter's not supposed to drop all the way down, so your chainsaw stalls, but now it is. unfortunately, because of a bug. And Wes did confirm that this was unintentional, so hopefully it does get fixed. But you know, it's the same with all these ASIMs, okay? I mean, I know a lot of work goes into the characters, a lot of work goes into the balancing and stuff. I mean, we haven't had an update for balancing and things in quite a bit on the game. So I've got a question, kind of like, where's the quality assurance here? Did nobody test this? One of the most, if not the most picked Leatherface ability loadouts. Was nobody testing this at Gun? Did we not get some content creators involved to do a little NDA playtest to where they can improve the game, like make sure the game's kind of feeling nice when the game does drop, or like when the update does drop? Like, why is that not being a thing? I really don't know. And you know, it's not like you'd have to charge people, not saying people like me, but you know, there's a bunch of other content creators for the game to the point where they could say, right, here's an NDA for the new update. And we want you to play test it for us for a few hours and, you know, test all the different characters out. Let us know what you think, gather feedback, then put it into the game. I feel like that's what should be happening. Sort of like a PTB for Dead by Daylight, but, you know, on a different scale, I guess, because I think Gun's a bit more serious. They're a bit more niche and they're a bit more tight about that type of thing. So they kind of want to keep it close. So I'd understand if they did that. But yeah, the play testing and stuff, it feels like maybe they did like a 1 or 2 hour play test, didn't really test out a lot of stuff, and they just threw it in the game. It's weird, especially if a bug like that is happening on your main character in the game. It shouldn't be happening. So Johnny as well. Johnny got absolutely fucking obliterated. And again, this is the problem with the game. A game that's not just Texas, it's games like this in general. Devs are so close to just like so quick to nerf and buff different things on the character all the time to try and balance them. You don't have to do it all the time, but characters like Johnny, characters like Leatherface, it feels like they need reworked completely. I don't know. Leatherface with the whole chainsaw all the time, it just gets so boring to play the character. Now, he is a fun character, and you can play quite a few games of him. Like I said, it's just the whole just default to the chainsaw all the time for every single hit is tedious as fuck. I'm not going to compare Dead by Daylight at all. You know, that Leatherface is completely different. But he does get to use his mallet, and that's what I'd like to see him use in Texas Chain Saw Massacre. It's the first weapon you see him actually use in the movie as well. And the whole excuse as to why we didn't get this from Wes was, like, that's not what Leatherface would do. Like, Leatherface wouldn't have, you know, a hammer hanging off his, like, oh no, that was it. Leatherface wouldn't have a chainsaw or a hammer hanging off his back like Ash. I'm not sure why. I don't know. That is just a weird concept in my brain, or a weird excuse to think about. You know, you should be able to quickly swap to the hammer, get a quick hit on a victim or something, and then go back to your chainsaw. You know, the characters' knives fucking float off their ass while they're feeding Grandpa, so it's not out the realm of possibility here, okay? Again, this is them just taking themselves a bit too seriously. It's a video game. You know, people want to use the hammer on, and then you can have different builds. You know, you can have builds on Leatherface that are more focused on the mallet or the hammer rather than the chainsaw, which I think would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, reworks can always alter the game way more than just nerfing and buffing characters. And like what's happened with Johnny here is they've nerfed him into so I say they've nerfed him into oblivion. They fixed bugs on him, okay? Now, this is a weird one because they said that Johnny was not bugged in the last dev stream, but he is bugged. They ultimately, they said, like, in the patch, they're saying that his lunge was bugged, but in the dev stream, they said it was part of his kit, so I don't know what's going on there, and I don't think they know what's going on there. However, they got rid of the lunge bug, or whatever you want to call it, so he's just swinging normally. Well, I say normally. He's basically almost standing still every time he swings now. And you've got to be inside the victim's asshole to actually get a hit. This leads me to him just... And they nerfed his tracking ability as well. So this just leads me to him actually needing a rework rather than just nerfing the character. Because now that he's been nerfed, or they fixed his bug... You know, you're saying that Johnny was only a viable pick just because of his bugs that was happening with his lunge. That's not right, Okay, that's clearly a problem with the character's fundamentals, or like you really need to rework him, make him more, maybe he's a trapper character, make him have better detection for victims. You kind of need to look at his animations as well with his attacks. Like, it just feels like that character's a complete mess, and I'm sorry for anyone that plays Johnny. When I played Johnny for the first time was when double XP was on, and I was grinding him up to level 3 max level, and I was like, man, this character feels like dog shit. Every attack I was doing, like, yeah, I felt me getting the momentum going forward, but if someone was like very close to me, my character, like, it wasn't me doing it, it was my character just kind of standing still and swinging and missing. It felt so horrible. I was like, what is going on with this character? So yeah, I mean, in a big update like this, you kind of think that, they would have took Johnny a little bit more seriously, because of him being more of a popular, controversial character around the community. I'd think there'd be an improvement there. This is a bit of a weird one, but they did want to introduce a lot more stealth play to this game, and I don't agree with this at all. It's just like way too many chickens are getting alerted using stealth play. So if you're going up a ladder very slowly on gas station, you guys probably have done this. So if you go up the ladder and the chicken's there inside that little hut, you'll always almost set that chicken off without you even being able to move your fucking character. Like, it's kind of obnoxious. But now we get this weird noise following victims thing when you make a loud noise, or if you for example, if you're sprinting through a door and you're being chased and you get all this red noise coming off your character. It kind of sucks because you're trying to run away from the family member, but they can fucking see you where you are through a wall now, so there's no real counterplay to that. It's just, I'm not sure why they did that. It doesn't make any sense to me. Making the red noise from the alerted things would have been more important, I feel like, making them more visible to the family side, where like I said, there's just more chickens around the map. If you're doing stealth play, you start unlocking the gate, sometimes that chicken will get alerted, and then red noise is coming off you. It's like, what the fuck? I'm playing stealth here, I'm trying to unlock a door, and then it's just a kind of a mess what they've done with that. And like I said, in mid-chase, it's more of a problem. So yeah, I mean, they tried to implement stealth play, I can respect that, but then they brought in all these chickens and this noise making mechanic from the victim, to the point where it was kind of like pointless to do stealth still. I don't know, it's just like I said, it's good that they add more chickens, but they need to look at the alert detection on them a little bit to at least fix that. And if I'm being honest, I just removed that stupid noise following the victims thing. I think it's kind of obnoxious. It doesn't make any sense. The whole point of the noise thing is that you use it as a distraction, purposely running through a noisemaker in the basement to distract Leatherface to go over there. It's more players like that. It's not so much people all of a sudden just making as much noise, like even searching for toolboxes and stuff. Now I understand that you want to kind of counter people who want to rush in the game. I get that, but it's taken away the strategic feel of where people could use noise to their advantage, if that makes sense. So I'm not too sure about that being added to the game. I think it's a bit weird. Avoid and cook is a bit of a strange one as well. So it was my understanding before the update that you could crouch and move slowly. So you could crouch and just move normally and not get detected by him, because I don't recall ever getting detected by Cook when I was crouched and just moving slowly. So when they said that they were nerfing it so where you could crouch and move more freely and not be detected by Cook, I thought that meant you could crouch and move quickly. So when you crouch and hold your sprint button or whatever, so you can crouch, move a lot faster, I thought that's what they were doing with Cook, and I thought that would have been a good thing. So I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one. It just feels like the same, I guess. It feels the same as it did before the update. It just didn't really change anything in my opinion, but here we are. Now the next one is grappling has been just way overtuned. And now I'm saying this from a victim's standpoint. It is ridiculous how quick it is to win a grapple now. It's like it was a get out of jail free card almost all the time before with grappler on. You don't really need to run grappler that much to win the grapple that fast, but it's like you win it in like 2 seconds now. It's ridiculous how quick it is. And this kind of stemmed from the complaints of people who were getting killed in a grapple animation, mainly Johnny's grapple animation. Even though you'd win it, you'd still get killed. It kind of feels like a cop-out, if I'm being honest, to that problem. It kind of feels like a cop-out solution to that problem, because the whole problem was you'd win, you'd get the prompt that you won the grapple, and then a family member would come along and kill you, even though you won the grapple. Now, I feel like a lot of people would have been a lot more happier if they left the grapple in the way it was, and if you won the grapple, you could not be killed by the other family member. They would have to wait for you to finish the animation before they could swing at you. I feel like that's what they should have looked at, but it felt like they just went a lazy route and went, just buff grappling. Just buff it for the victim to, fucking instantly win it. I don't know. It is weird balance in here. It's either them just running out of time, or they're just kind of panicking. I don't know. It's bizarre. So the good thing they have done with the balance, and I really like this, is the valve. So the valve is probably the most used escape method in the game. Now it's probably going down to being one of the least, because at this point, valve feels more of a distraction now. It doesn't feel like the go-to objective, because it takes quite a bit of time to turn on, and now the family can turn it off so much faster, and it will repressure as well. So the valve feels a lot nicer, especially on Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse valve, you're not seeing that too often now. You're seeing a lot more people running through the Slaughterhouse, going through the facility building. That's kind of how you want the game to be playing out. And I think the most fun games now are on Slaughterhouse, trying to learn different, like it's been the most balanced map since launch. Balance changes wise, if that makes sense. So ever since the map come out, that's been the one that they've been looked at and trying to balance, and you can see the effort that's been put into that, and now it feels like a solid map to play on. It's still got its issues, don't get me wrong. You can still the good thing as well, you can padlock the Slaughterhouse door now with Cook. However, that could leave a facility building open there. So, it leads to different, alternate routes and play styles to where you can enjoy the map a lot more. And that's what I like to see on the map. So, yeah, I mean, they brought Slaughterhouse up. It just feels a much better map to play on, like I said. And the valve isn't the be-all and go-to instantly victim escape route now. So now we can alter our play styles a little bit. But there's just, like I said, all these other factors from balancing that's kind of ruined the opportunities there, to where you can go through a gate as stealthy as you want, but you can't now because the chickens are alerting you. Then you're getting the red noise flare up on you. It's kind of a weird aspect that's going on within the game's balancing right now. Overall, I think the balancing changes needed looked at way more in depth. I think they should have play tested a lot of different things as well. Obviously, there was way more balancing added to the game than I have talked about here, but it's not saying they've really improved the game's overall feel, because it still feels the same to me. I think it's gone probably more victim-sided again, especially with the new map. When I've been playing Victim lately, I just feel like, I haven't streamed the game in 3 weeks, so I'm rusty at it. I still found it really fucking easy to escape. Really easy. Just manipulating the game mechanics to my will to be able to just go like, I'm out. See ya. Like, yeah, I mean, we definitely got way more escapes over the last few days than we died. Like, way more. It's not a case of like, you got like 3 escapes to 1 death. No. It is like 5 escapes to 1 death ratio. I don't know. And that's not playing with a full team either. That's just playing with one person on my team. Like, dual queuing. It's incredible. I don't know. The balancing just kind of feels whack. So we'll talk about the good things now. So the good things about this update, like I said, Slaughterhouse feeling a lot more of a better map to play on. I can get behind that. I enjoy it. The grandpa cutscene gone. Fucking love this. I'm so glad the grandpa cutscene's gone. You can just get on with your day. Get on with your day. Get on with your business. There's no more fucking grandpa cutscene interrupting your gameplay. Thank God. And also that leads to the Leatherface chainsaw not stalling. However, they fucked over Leatherface because now his chainsaw stalls with his level 2 perk. And honestly, I can't really think of many other good things that they've added to the game in this update. There's nothing else I can really pull out there and say, this was good. this is a nice thing. This is something that's, you know, game changing. I can't. I mean, I was kind of happy Johnny was getting fixed, but I was hoping that they would have done something about him still, to the point where he's more viable of a pick, but it's just kind of a nerf to him and kill the character. And I'm not a Johnny main by any means. I feel bad for everyone who mains Johnny. You know, I play Sissy, Leatherface, and Hitchhiker mainly. That's my characters. And I've been playing a bit of Nancy. And I just want to talk about Nancy real quick as well, that I forgot to mention. And I think it's a very stupid mechanic to where you can put a barbed wire trap over a doorway, but your fucking family members can break it, and then you've got to go over there and reset it. I think that's very stupid. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. I feel like they should just run through it like they do with a hitchhiker trap. I mean, yeah, it's barbed wire going across the doorway. They probably wanted to be a bit too realistic there, but again, you've got to remember you're a video game. People want to make these counter plays. They want to set up barbed wire in some small areas to block off some areas, to where making Nancy's ability feel a bit more viable. Now, all I do is I put Nancy's ability in the wall gaps, because it feels so pointless putting it through a doorway. And you know, you kind of just feel one-dimensional there, where you're setting up and just being like, right, I've got to put this on a wall gap or a crawl space all the time. But yeah, I mean, the problem with this update, okay, like I said, it's took them a while, you know, 14 weeks. Some people are just saying the game's only been out for 3 months. You know, we're coming close to 4 months now. Okay, it's been out 14, 15 weeks, whatever. And I can't help but feel and I understand it's a small dev studio, okay, but they're making all the wrong decisions still. And it's unfortunate that it feels like they're not really paying attention too much to our feedback about things. And it's just, it's a letdown. Like I said, I wanted the game to succeed when I got into it. I got really invested in the game's franchise, Texas Chain Saw Massacre. And I always ask myself every day, and it's not a game like I wouldn't be sitting here making videos about if I didn't care about it, okay? I wouldn't be sitting here giving my review and my personal opinion on an update if I didn't care about the game. I know I'm not just doing this for clicks, but the sad thing about this game is it's just going in the same direction as Evil Dead. It's just such a letdown. It really is. And with them making this mistake after mistake with these updates, it's unfortunate. Like I said, I really wanted this game to succeed. I like the ASIM genre. I'm still a fan of it. It's just, we've got nothing right now. And I thought Texas would have been it. I thought Texas was going to be, with the times, basically. They were going to understand what a player base wants in a video game. And yeah, I guess people like me can be a bit too critical. That's understandable. Like, we can be too critical sometimes, because we're a content creator. I'm a bit too critical because I'm a content creator. I understand that. I'm not like an average gamer where I'm only hopping on the game for an hour or two. I'm someone who plays the games for like 4 or 5 hours every day. So I see all these problems. So I talk about them more than an average person or an average gamer would, because they're only on the game for a couple of hours. Also, one more good thing for the update I forgot to mention was the lobbies. Well, I say it's good and bad. It's bittersweet. So it's nice that the lobbies now start when there's just, was it 5 out of 7 people readied up or whatever? 6 out of 7. I think it's 5 out of 7. Yeah, it's 5 out of 7. Sometimes that won't work. So if there's 5 people already readied up, but the lobby's not full, but the person joins in, the countdown timer won't go down. However, if you unready and then ready up again, the countdown timer will drop down to 30 seconds. So bear that in mind if you're in a lobby, guys. If you want the countdown timer to drop down to 30 seconds whilst there is 5 people readied up, and the 7th person joins in late and the timer doesn't go down, you're wondering why. Just unready and ready up, it'll put it down to 30 seconds. But this was kind of a fucking brain melting point that happened to me in the update. Like, this is the big fucking update of Texas Chain Saw Massacre, and we've waited so long for it, and they finally fixed the lobbies with the you know, with the countdown timer, and we were like, all right, we're going to get into games fast. You know, people are going to want to play the new map. Slaughterhouse is more balanced. All right, we're going to be getting into games a lot faster. No. On a fucking update day, what was it? I think it was 3 or 4 lobbies just got killed. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a fucking brand new update on Texas. Why is the lobbies just dying? And it wasn't to the point where people were constantly joining and leaving all the time. It's like we got a full lobby, someone left, and then just nobody joined at all. Nobody at all. We just waited there for the entire lobby to die. And I was just asking myself, I was like, this is the big update. Why are people not flooding into the lobbies? It just didn't make any sense to me. And this was on both sides as well. It wasn't just happening on Played Victim. This was happening on both sides because I was running quick match. And yeah, it's just weird. It still feels like the worst lobby system I've ever dealt with in the game. They've made improvements to it, but it's still kind of nowhere near where it needs to be. I feel like role queuing needs to be in effect. It feels like there's just something going on with the matchmaking to where it's not just pulling people into the lobbies faster. It feels like it's just taking a long time. I don't know what's going on there. I really don't. But another bad thing. Okay, so I got a couple of just little nitpicks. Nothing too drastic about the update, just to finish this off. They didn't. This is kind of an annoying one because they didn't listen to everyone's feedback about the promotional banner. So when we updated the game, we still had the big ass fucking Nicotero Leatherface banner in the bottom right corner of the screen. Oh, so it took them a few hours, or it took them the next day to change it to Danny and Nancy and the new map being a thing. But they didn't change the fucking size of it, so now we still can't see the family house in the. I don't know. A lot of people had complaints about this. Their response was everything's bigger in Texas or whatever. Kind of, yeah, but this is sort of obnoxiously big. You know, it's like I said, these are nitpicks, okay? These are just little things that irk me. We've already talked about the good, the bad in the gameplay and the characters. These are little things that bug me. The fucking stupid ass PNG of Max over my level 99 as well. What the fuck were they... What the fuck were they doing with that? It also looks like it's in the completely wrong place to where they designed it to be, because if you end the game and in the middle of the screen the max just goes over the fucking 9 in the bottom left corner, it just looks so out of place. I don't know what was going on there. But now we've got the question is, usually when a big game, like an update gets a big a game when it gets a big update, sorry, like the week or two after we get a little change and bug fix. I hope that happens. However, they said they're going to be updating this game now every 45 days. I want to say, I might be misquoting them there. I'm sure that's what they said. So we're going to be getting updates a lot slower in the game. So are we going to be suffering with the Leatherface bug till then? Are we going to be suffering with Johnny feeling like trash till then? All these different balance changes, and the game's gone from kind of, I feel like feel like a worse game from these changes, like the balancing wise at least. Lobby wise is fine. And I'm not really a big talker about game balancing because I think it's a very tedious topic. A lot of people can get toxic about it, but I really wish that they didn't alter too many things here, and I feel like they did too many things at once and it started breaking other things, and I feel like it's something that should be done more on a regular basis, balancing, rather than like bug fixing. I don't know, I just don't think the balancing is in a good spot right now. I think the game feels more unbalanced than it did before. That's just in my opinion, and this is from a big update. Like I said, some characters got destroyed. They added new characters that are arguably OP. All the change, like I said, the best thing they did was Slaughterhouse, but I feel like the Slaughterhouse valve and things like that were fucking talked about when the game come out by the entire community, and it's took them this long to get Slaughterhouse to feel in the way it does. It's a problem. I think it's a problem. I feel like they looked way too much into other controversial things and things that didn't need looked at immediately, to not better designing their maps, better balancing their maps. And I think that's what they should have been doing. That's in my opinion, though. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end it there. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I went a bit in depth for you guys. I might have left some things out. This is things that just kind of stood out to me that I wanted to talk about and address about the update. So my overall review for the update, it's weird because I've been on the fence about it. Like I said, I enjoyed the update a little bit, but I couldn't help but just see and just think, wow, it took them this long to bring this out, to the point where, you know, Leatherface getting bugged, the balancing just feeling off for the new map. Like, we waited so long for this, and the game just, it still feels flat. It still lacks the substance that I've always talked about. It just, I don't think it's going to be enough content, and I don't, like I said, I don't want the game to die. And I think just overall from this update, with it being its first ever big update for the game, I don't think it was good enough. And that's the bottom line for me. I don't think it was good enough. I think it was, I want to say it feels rushed out, but it's took them a long ass time to get it out. So if this is the standard we're going to be getting on these big updates, I'm kind of scared for the game's future, if I'm being totally honest. That's all I can be. Just be totally honest with you guys. I don't want to sit here and dick ride gun like most other people do. A lot of people dick ride them. I understand that. I mean, you guys want to get noticed, from Wes and Matt. You guys want to defend the game, be a white knight. I can understand that when people are talking shit about your favorite game of all time. I can understand that, but you can't be blind to issues in video games. I think too many people can be blind to them. I think it's healthy to talk about it. You can't sit here and put on a positive face all the time. I can't do it. You know, I was even debating making this video because I know I will get some negative comments about, you know, me just, you're just being shitting on the game for views and stuff. You know, I don't want to read it. I make these to get my point across to how I seen an update. And I'm sure a majority of people seen the update, you know, looking through Reddit and stuff. A lot of people have not really give them props for this update. Like I said, there's good things, there's bad things. I think the bad in this case outweighed the good in this update, unfortunately, where it should be the opposite way around. You know, the good should always outweigh the bad. And like I said, no update is perfect in a video game. Things get broken, things get bugged. I think this can be the problem when you're adding so many changes to the game. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the whole purpose for this is maybe if the devs see it, they can hear my feedback about it. Not sure why they'd listen to someone like me, though. Just shitting on them all the time. But yeah, that's it for me, everyone. I don't know if I'm going to keep covering this game. I really don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do the update. We had a blast doing the update. We had loads of people in the stream. It was a fun time. I enjoyed it. And I always enjoy it with ASIM games, you know, them update days, checking out the new content. It's always refreshing, but when it just doesn't fucking hit the mark, you just left with this, here we go again feel about it. And like I said, I might be too critical compared to a lot of people because I play the game. I played the game so much on a daily basis. I streamed it 3 times this week. That's the most I've streamed it in 3 weeks. Like I said, I haven't streamed the game in 3 weeks. I come on to the new update. I was just expecting to get a feel for the game again and being like, all right, here we are. We can fucking invest time. We can invest energy in this game. We can get hyped about it again because this update is absolute fire. And it just didn't fucking hit that at all. It was like, I loaded the game up. I loaded the new update up. I was like, oh, okay, look at these characters. Then I started going through the skill tree. And I was like, oh, these are all fucking exclusive perks from a $10 character. And I was just like, I was banging my head against my fucking chair. I was just so done, man. I was so done. I was just expecting way more. I was expecting more from the new map. I was expecting the balancing to feel a lot better for the game as well. However, it's still just a mess. It's still just a mess. I should not be able to escape a fucking map in 73 seconds. I don't care who I'm playing with. That should not happen at all. But anyways, guys, leave me a like, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the update. Am I being too critical? do let me know, I guess. Like I said, I was on the fence about even making this video because I know the toxic shit that comes in the aftermath in the comment section. You know, I don't want people to be toxic to each other at all. And if I see anyone talking shit about me and my opinion, you know, going way overboard about it, I'm just gonna fucking delete you. I'm gonna hide you on the channel. If you can't have a civil discussion within the comments about my opinions on the update versus your opinions, then, you know, don't bother fucking commenting. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, hit the sub button. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to still be covering this game. I'm going to keep an eye on it, let it cook, see what happens. I hope it does return to the point where, you know, it's a good game to grind again. I really hope so, but it's just not it right now, unfortunately. And it sucks because it was my main game for a while, and, you know, I'm kind of just getting out of the water away from TCM. And, you know, I've been enjoying playing some single player games, you know, survival horror games, Resident Evil and stuff, Dead Space, you know, doing games like that's been really, really fucking fun. And it's been the most fun I've had streaming ever since Evil Dead come out, honestly. I've missed those days, and, you know, just getting on a daily grind, a new single player game every day. It's been so much fun, honestly. But I do miss having a main game to go to, you know, my secure platform, if it were, to where if I go and do a single player game, I know the streams of the single player games don't get as many viewers in, but then just hopping back to my main game, I mean, my secure main game, to get the numbers back up on the streams for a couple of days, you know, doing stuff like that is kind of why I wanted to go. But, you know, I don't really have a main game right now, and I want Texas to be my main game, but I'm not with it. But you know, we'll get the Game Awards soon. The Game Awards we might get a new ASIM. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the sub button if you are new to the channel. And I've been Pixels, you my awesome viewers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.